Hello, good evening. My name is Elias Munsha, and I am coming to you live on TV Vakwetu from Calgary, Alberta, from the studios of TV Vakwetu. Again, welcome. And so I'm going to give you a few moments to spread word around because I want to talk about the latest, whatever it is, the latest stint, okay? I know that in Chiwempala, it's about 21:37. And so good evening, Chiwempala and the rest of Central Africa, because Chiwempala is the capital of Central Africa. And so today we are going to deal with this matter. So please spread the word around. I want all civil servants to be here because I have a discussion for you. And I'm taking some jajatis today. No tea today. Today it's complete water so that we can maintain a healthy nation, right? This one, there it is. So please spread the word around and then let's connect as soon as we can. And if you want to join in the discussion today, I'm going to post our, right. Yeah, there it is. I've posted our link, and then you can come in so that we can have a great discussion. It's a very nice discussion. I'm going to explain what this all means. I'm going to give you ideas of some numbers. It's not going to be all the numbers, but I will give you an idea of the numbers, and then we are going to have a discussion and a frank talk with the civil servants. All right, we're going to have a very frank discussion because it's very important to have this frank discussion. Okay, so here is the deal, right? Spread the word around and let's talk about this. Here is the deal. Okay. Here is the deal, because we really must deal with this. So go ahead, spread the word around, and let's deal with this. Okay, let's let's deal with this. Okay, now the issue that is on hand right now is what I call the kelenka debt swap. Okay, it's the kelenka debt swap. And then I am going to bring in some of our friends that are going to help me discuss this. General is not with us tonight. He sends his apologies and he will be in some time this week. We are going to ensure that we get him back as soon as possible. But anyway, so I have some points, and today I'm very well prepared because I have a well-prepared write-up. So I am going to explain what it is, and I'll explain very slowly. I'll not even be rushing. No. Today is today. Okay. So here is what is happening regarding the kelenka debt swap, right? Here is what is happening. First of all, the government of the Republic of Zambia, and so when I say the government of the Republic of Zambia, what I really mean is government Yabalungu, right? Now, you want me to keep the president out of it, but he is the head of state, and his party is the party in power. His party is the one that is negotiating all these useless contracts. So there is no way we can escape it. So the government of President Lungu owes a lot of people money, right? Okay, so they owe people money in Zambia. Those people they owe money in Zambia are known as domestic debt. So they owe people money in Zambia, but they've also not been paying people in Zambia. So if you don't pay, it becomes an arrear. So we call it domestic arrears. So in Zambia, the government of the Republic of Zambia owes several people in Zambia, banks, whatever it is, name it, arrears. So domestic arrears, domestic debt, domestic arrears in Zambia. Outside Zambia, the government of the Republic of Zambia is owing more money to who? China. They are owing a lot of money to China because the Chinese gave this government kaloba. So they built things like Harry Mwanga International Airport, Simon Mwanza Kapwepo International Airport, and Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. And then they built several white elephants around the country. All that money they borrowed from China. Then they also borrowed from America. Then they've borrowed from Europe. So they've borrowed from several bond holders. So when the language is used at bond holders, what it simply means is abakalo, abashailok, ema bond holders. That's what it means. But what is a bond holder in Kaloba? When they say Eurobond, what are they saying? A Eurobond in Kaloba, somewhere they call it in Kaloba. That has a very fancy name. Okay? So when you count fiance, Makaloba eka, your government of the Republic of Zambia is owing banks, China, all these people. Now, we understand that the figure of how much this government owes is billions, okay? Now, nama numbers, so about 20 billion. So they are owing 20 billion. So these people that they owe money from, they have come back to say, Alenbane tampenu kulipila interest. I want you to follow me very well here. So the government, so all these people, China, America, Eurobonds, America bonds, New York bonds, Calgary bonds. Yeah, Calgary bonds, even bonds that they've borrowed everywhere from Canada, from all these, from pension funds around the world. All this money that they owe, these people have come to Zambia and say, pay us back the money. And Zambia has not paid that money because they are broke. So, which means they can't service their debt. The government of the Republic of Zambia has defaulted on its debt because it is broke. It does not have money. So they went to the Chinese and told the Chinese president, or is it prime minister, prime minister of China, to forgive us over this debt. China said no. Instead of forgiving them some of these debts, China actually gave them more money. So basaba kongwesha $18 million. Interest ya So we are in a very serious fiscal situation in Zambia, completely serious. It is so serious that the government of the Republic of Zambia cannot service its debt, both domestic and international. It's tough. All right. Now, suddenly, a few days before the election, before you go to elections, right? A few days before the elections, government suddenly has this idea. So what is this idea? Now, in addition to the money that they owe, all these international and multilateral companies and banks, they also owe the people who work for them. It's very serious. So the government of the Republic of Zambia actually owes people their terminal benefits. Several retirees are owed money. To date, they've not been paid. Doctors that this government employed, it union using members' language, bali banyunya, ba doctor, bale womba ba doctor, I government yaba nyunya. Ba teacher, government yaba nyunya. Judiciary workers, government yaba nyunya. A little bit utuma allowances uto bale poka over they supplement their income. Don't say government yaba nyunya over years, not over today. No. Lero ndeso polola pako watu mumfu oko watu abani ba kelenka ngatulenda abani ba kelenka muimono kwa tutule ba fienga fie ati yo madam mulebi fienga fie. No, it's because they are actually kelenkas, and I'm going to explain to you today. So this government owes across the board. Banks, it owes money to even its own workers. Their money. Retirees have not been paid. That's why today you find retirees all over. They've not been paid their terminal benefits because this government is completely broke. They've stolen money. They've misapplied money. They have complete mismanagement of the Zambian economy. They are owing. Okay. Now, they suddenly came up with this idea. Now, when an idea is too complicated, nishmuishi bati ndibukerenga, nishbarekerenga. Mwamona, if you bomba bakerenga fyakwe bati, bala leta kotuma ideas tumutu wakwe bati, bafushe chisungu. I want you to know something. Bafushe chisungu. You see, bafushe chisungu chafula sana. So, nga bafushe chisungu kanshi, Elonomba, you begin peeling the onion. Wasasangati mulimpiripiri. Wasangati something that looks like buchi. Kanshite buchi mukati. Muliamafi. So you kulyubuchi. You think that kulyubuchi kanshi mukati wafya sana. Poison. That's exactly what they are trying to do here, right? And so using very colorful language. In actual fact, poison. Okay. So now, what they are proposing in this debt swap is, dear workers, we owe you money. We owe you a lot of money. But what we are going to do is, instead of giving you the allowances that we owe you, we are going to use these allowances to pay off people that you owe as government workers. All right? That's the first aspect of the debt swap. The second aspect of the debt swap is that you, government workers, you're owing these banks and several other things. What we will do is, remember, they are claiming that they will do it. They've not done it. So what they're saying is, if you owe all these people, we pay on your behalf. And then when we pay on your behalf, here is a catch. Then you're going to pay us back. Kuntansh. Now, here is common sense. Now, taufiro kubuwa man uafimano sana. No, kuba fio wa kuchuempala. Imwe ya zubuteko, you have been owing China and India and Abasungu and you are owing and you are defaulting. Now, even in Zambia, retirees, you have defaulted. You can't pay your retirees. And even the banks in your country, in Zambia, that you are owing, you've already defaulted. How then are you going to pay money that we are owing on our behalf? It does not make sense. That's why I'm telling you, it is a lie. This is a government of liars. Simple common sense. Okay, number retirees tamu abadipira. Nama allowances that you owe doctors tamu abadipira. They had to go on strike to make noise. Tamu abadipira. But teacher tamu abadipira. Council workers tamu abadipira. So where are you going to get this money that you say you are going to use? Okulipira nkongole shama civil servants. Common sense, it tells you these are liars. Niba kelenka, babufi. Okay. Now, listen, the civil servants, if you're chava in finance and common sense, when a civil servant, I am kukongola, there are three ways of civil servants borrowing money. Okay, there are several other ways, but three are very relevant to us. One of the ways is government payroll. Remember, government payroll. Government payroll. Yasaina some agreements with usually small lenders such as Bayport. Now, we are going to talk about Bayport because imweba Bayport imwe muri bene bayidiyashi so tatuwa mifumiemo yo twala mibikamo ainba Bayport pantomo muri didiyashi. So Bayport signs with the payroll where if a civil servant borrows money, instead of the civil servant paying after afola chidiawa afola nomba ero wabula po wayamukulipire nkongole wa kongwele. Bayport signed a contract with government payroll kwebati if a servant borrows money, Bayport yala yamukuchita deduct straight before nempieta shiraisa mu bank account yobe Bayport yasenda, which means it is the government that takes money from your pay and then remits it to Bayport. It was not just Bayport, but several other banks got into the issue as well. And so government was getting money. Because the government is broke. Because government yalipia impia shonse baliba nombo mlandu wako bati impia shonse baliba ne shoshine bale chita deduct kuma government workers shienchita impia bali chita deduct at baye mukulipira Bayport baye mukulipira ama banks bale eria balungu bale mukushitendeke na tear gas eko shaire impia shiria kundeke. So you are a civil servant wafola na bachita deduct 1000 kwacha iwole mwana kona kalimo, it is going down to pay your debt iyo wako ngwere ku Bayport nangu ku Stanbic Bank kanshi government yachita shani yachita deduct instead yako bati government iye ilipire government yaiba. So nomba Bayport and several other banks baisa kuli iwe as a worker bebere iwe taule ilipire mpia iwe bere no moneni government deducted. So these companies, they started getting angry, the banks. That's why, is it Stanbic, Idangani Standard Bank, Nalava Mashinayama Bank ku Zambia. What they started doing was government started deduct. Now, never bank buying it in your own money. Now, you never deduct. So, wakwata double deductions. It caused a lot of confusion in the civil service. It caused a lot of commotion. So unions started negotiating. Filiaba union vambo kulandila kwa maweka zimu mwema banks et muchite. Vama banks bebere no. We have a business to run here. Imemwadisa kongola. And even if the government is the one that is deducting the money, the contract is between you as a bank and the borrower. So that Mulandat it's because bank government, if we could deduct, therefore the government is a party to the contract. No. If you go to a bank or to pay or to borrow money, right? The government is not a surety. Government payroll has a role only to deduct the money and remit it. But they're not a party to that contract. It is between a borrower and the lender. That is where the legal contract is. So even if government defaults, these lenders are still going to come at you. So the government is facing, therefore, several problems. So problems with workers, and the other problem is problem with these financial institutions. Other financial institutions even withdrew from that agreement. We are going to go straight into bank accounts of teachers, bank accounts of nurses, bank accounts of policemen, bank accounts of soldiers, bank accounts of immigration officers, bank accounts of workers at Ministry of Education, Health, and we are going to be so this government lost a lot of popularity. Now, because they lose a lot of popularity because of their theft, they came up with this brilliant idea, except that it is actually a kelenka idea. Now, what they want to do is lie to the civil servants. Okay, but suddenly they are now going to it's a lie. Okay? Because when all this time there are arrears. Okay, if you have the money, why don't you just pay ama civil servants? If you are owing them allowances, give it to them. Gimmick you are still going to just do a swap in the numbers. Is going to be unacceptable to banks because banks don't trust you because you as a government, you already owe millions to these banks. How are they going to trust you today? They can't. All right? So then the debt is going to continue. Now, the government is doing these maneuvers, and yet the people that actually lend this government money, they are watching. Balungu balisa eba Chinese. At mama Chinese, tuerere ni kwenkongole tuwa mikongola. The Chinese president said no. Elo number a few weeks later, a few months later, you are actually helping civil servants pay their debt. China is not going to be happy unless you've gone behind the backs of civil servants. What we are doing, we're just trying to deceive these civil servants. Otherwise, is the true reflection. So there is no money. Unless Muaya behind the back, Calgary bondholders. So that is what happens. This government came to Calgary, came to New York, came to London, and borrowed a lot of money. So now, because of these pension funds, and remember, it's pension funds, it's pension funds that are used to raise money on the money market. So they're saying, give us the money. So number kuya behind the civil servants back, what we are doing is just an electoral gimmick. Otherwise, tualipia. Because the bondholders are going to come back and say, you are giving us the impression at Mwadipia, number ishinko komuleria every day. I am a promises mulepela civil servants. It means you have money. So let's just talk about priorities here. Remember, ilio mwapi ile mwaishile muku kongola kulife mwalichefeshe sana. Number pa mwachita yabashane. What is the situation? And so the government of the Republic of Zambia, it's very unfortunate, my dear listeners, I have to tell you that President Lungu is presiding over a government of liars. Not koko abako advanced, very basic, kelenka. You know what I mean? You can't even find it in Chiwempala. It's completely unacceptable. You know what I mean? Now, why are the civil servants union participating in this? I want to tell you a secret. The civil servants union are extremely intelligent people. They know exactly what this means. So they're signing that because all they are looking at here is they know there is no way this is going to be sustained. They know it's an electoral lie. So they are playing with this government. This is what is happening. Have you seen the unions? They are very excited. They know. They know. How many years have these unions been trying to negotiate when we still had political oversight over this government? When we had ministers of labor, ministers of finance, ministers of shan, sign big documents, big contracts to commit the government of the Republic of Zambia to this liability? You tell me. So the union is playing the government. So the government is trying to play the workers, but the union also know that this is a lie. So what they are trying to do is, even if you get a little bit of their money from this government, it's worth something. So that's what they're trying to do. And then funny enough is, you see, if the civil service does not work like overnight. Here's another lie. So they're saying they're going to do this debt swap immediately, but in actual fact, the wheels of the civil service take extremely long. Because there is something known as equalization, right? Across the civil service. The policies must be standard. So if you say that you're going to pay people that are owing financial institutions money, the question is, you must apply that uniformly to those civil servants who do not owe institutions money. So now it's complicated, which means then that as the wheels are turning, it's going to take months, right? It's going to take months, it's going to take years for you to come to a level where you equalize everything. And how are you going to compute how much this government is owing civil servants? How many civil servants do we have in Zambia? 100,000 civil servants? 100,000 civil servants. Just to put a person on payroll takes months. To remove a person from payroll takes months. To transfer a person and to remove a person from one bracket to another takes months. What makes you think, that within 3 months, this government will be able to implement all these changes in a uniform manner across the civil service? That's why I'm telling you, these are liars. Babufi, mwebo, bufi. Okay. So because this government is defaulting, they will default. They will continue defaulting. The reason why they are not paying you is because they are defaulting, and they will continue defaulting. This is hopeless. It is the last gimmick that the president is trying to play. Now, the issue is that he's not just playing with the civil servants, he's playing with the integrity of our country, the fiscal integrity of our country. Because now he is lacking what is known as credibility. Credibility before China. No credibility by Lungu and the government. No credibility before bondholders. No credibility before Europe. No credibility before the International Monetary Fund. That's why I need to let you know. Okay, but all these things they are claiming, wofi, uwafita na fititi. Uwofi. This is what it is. David is saying 210,000 civil servants. So now, if you come up with that's how government operates, right? If you come up with a policy, you can't roll, the civil service cannot roll only affecting a few civil servants. It can't work, right? But there is Bayport, then there is another port, then there are several other things. So it is completely complicated. They are lying. Babu fee. All that they are trying to do is to lie to you so that you, the 210,000 of you, will go and vote for them. And you know what happens after you vote for them? Nothing changes. The reason why nothing will have to change is because Balungu now will go back to the IMF, will go back to China, will go back to Calgary and Canada, will go back to New York and the US. They will go back to London. Elonga baya kulia ku London. Dara beba taleni bane open tumone. Isule ni tumone. Epa diubulu eli apo. Ati isula fula tubone pakoba nomba tukunda pe. Government ikakana because there are a lot of skeletons all over. And so please, dear Zambia, tuasopolo la lelo bufi wabo. Babufi. Now, I have with me our resident pharmacist. We share my vakanika ndevepa munjebe. You tell me. Ngachakutula mwasanga mobufi mufionderanda. You tell me.
Kwena ubufi tabuli mfomlandire but mufo balandire muri ubufi. Yeah. When you check very well, actually, we are slightly above 210,000 civil servants. But the fact which is here is we don't have the money in terms of paying for those for the debts. As I'm speaking right now, we have a challenge of failing to buy our own vaccines for coronavirus. We are waiting for people to donate. Now, who are the people are donating? Going to hear that the government that is failing to buy its own vaccine is going to pay for the ship. I think that's something unacceptable. So it's then if you remember very well, about a month ago, they said they have released 200 million kwacha to pay for arrears. And up to today, they have not given anyone any idea. I don't know. Civil servants maybe can tell us. I'm not a civil servant, but I don't know which civil servant can say yes. My arrears have been paid, but they have not paid the arrears. So this is one of the challenges that we have, and the problem is, like you have put, especially these who have remained as permanent secretaries. These guys like lying. They lie a lot. And
Babufi. Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? Because Mwaranda Kwati, the politicians made a contract or something. No, but there is no way that this civil service led by Dr. Simon Miti is going to commit the government of Zambia to such a huge liability. And in fact, the liability that is not even known because they've not counted how much money civil servants are owing.
Yeah, you see, yeah, that's very true. And today the president was also telling people in Mupan to say, tell us how much your benefits, the monies are variable. But if the monies are variable and the people who are supposed, or our debtors, or the people are supposed to give us something, even money, they are hearing us saying that we are calling people to do all the totaling for Mupani workers, and you see, say the monies are variable. Where is that money? The hospitals are contracts.
You see, what I find very funny is Walungu went to Mopani, right?
Yes.
Now, this is not the first time that he's visiting Mopani. He goes to Mopani very frequently. He goes to Mopani. Now, he's run out of things to say. Ubufi bulayano kubwera. So nomba babepa vafiru uko akuvilosha nomba kwamba kokubepati you Mopani workers go and make calculations. Look at how it's very childish. At you Mopani workers, go and make calculations. And after you make calculations, you come back with a number, we pay you. Which serious government does that?
I'm also surprised because even there in Chingola, KCM, the workers, they were just paid about 40% of their money. Even them, they don't know where their 60% of the money is. So these are some of the challenges that the government is trying to put itself into. I think such move is not very much fine and is not well thought of. And we are in a serious crisis as a country, and we have seen everything skyrocketing, even the inflation reaching somewhere 24, somewhere there. So I think what the government need to do, the best thing we can do is the government need to humble itself. And if the PF government want the votes, better they just ask the votes based on what they can do, unlike these maneuvers that have started coming out.
And that's a serious thing, right? Because they are doing it so shamelessly. You know, insoni ebuntu na mwishi baba ne tule kwata kwensoni, ufimoku ibwelamo ati kwena na abepa sana. Momona, our dear pharmacists, kuiwera mulimu ati nabepa sana. I shouldn't continue. Tule bepa bantu since 2015. Uleba bepa fie. Now, it's not that the elections ya palamina why chef. No. Wambo kulunda po more lies, more deception on top of the lies that you are giving. This is a scandal.
You see, it's very sad. Just to remind you, maybe to refresh back, few months ago, the Ugandan government stopped supplying coartem to Zambia because we are owing them maybe about $6 million US, and we have not paid them. The suppliers of other drugs in the Ministry of Health, including those who supply the drugs for kidney, for dialysis, for kidney problem, they are not giving the government the drugs because the government owes them and they have not been paid. So all these people, they are complaining of not being paid. Then they hear that the government has gone and take Karuba for Jeremy, who got his own Karuba by himself. I think that's something that needs to be looked into. I think it's not a wise move. The best thing is that money which they have, let them put into serious service. Let them pay those they owe in terms of supplying drugs. They start supplying drugs. Let them pay other people who are supplying services to the Zambian people, so that everyone, including those who doesn't work, they can benefit from their own government. This is a serious wrong move.
So here is the funny thing. Now, I want to make a suggestion. Okay, if the government has money right now for civil servants, here is my suggestion. Take that money, deposit it into the accounts of civil servants tomorrow. Simple. Not if you see, because what they are doing is if you have sign, you know that something is wrong. If Bambia Shabene, Moafusha Gusaina. You know, we are signing with this union. There is this Kurikoka signature somewhere. No, you say that you are owing civil servants money, and you have the money.
But again, the people who are
and just give them release money. Milo, what we want to see, Imweba Amos Malupenga, Nava Dr. Simon Miti, Nava Malama, Nabambi, Secretary to the Treasury. If you say that you have money tomorrow, please pay civil servants their money, nothing to sign, pay retirees their money, and let's call it even. Chapwa, not if you sign. Jerome, please.
Yeah, I think I concur with you. And when you see the people are signing, they were not like the banks whom the civil servants have money from, but they were just union and permanent secretaries, which again can be just something that can be just you see something like planning. But even that, we need to have a situation where the government, yes, instead of paying those institutions, civil servants then get the money from, let them pay the civil servants that money in their accounts. Then let the civil servants take the money to the banks where they get the money from. I think that would be
Number, look at this. So the people who are signing, it's the unions and the PM permanent secretary. But the banks that are owed this money were not there.
Voila.
You see, that's the sign. The people that they are saying, but then that they'll actually to be a debt swap. Number, the institutions that are going to receive this money, they were not there at that signing ceremony. Debt swap.
I also don't understand, because the banks is where these people, the civil servants, they get the money from, and not from the PSMD. As for your own information, PSMD is the one that owes civil servants. They owe civil servants in terms of settling allowances. They owe civil servants about travel expenses. They owe civil servants about salary arrears. And as we are speaking there, we have a lot of other civil servants who have been employed without even put on the payroll up to today. So they are the one who owes this. So is it the debt swap? Is it the issue of the debt moving from the PSMD giving back to the civil servants, or what? Because PSMD owes this money.
Yeah. We are not saying that what we are saying is that, you see, ukubepa abantu, abantu abakulu nabo, you know, bantu idio turekota. We don't want to be lied to. We just want you to tell us the entire story. This government wants to insist on respect, but it does not respect its citizens. All the citizens, abakote, in the government, they are not respected. That's why they are going to throw all these lies around, and people are going to hold on to them. Sorry. Arabalungu inshta na ipwa tampeni ko kulonga katundu inshita yakwana. Bantu te tule bepa fyobufi. We mukulu, we muntu mukulu ulebepa. Balungu barebepa. Bawina barebepa. Simon Miti arebepa. Amos Malupenga are. This is a government of kelenkas. I don't know. Alvin Himbai, please talk to me.
You know, I've been following the lies and whatever they are saying. You know, in the first place, Council, allow me to remind you that this is the same government that has paid a deaf ear to our heroes who worked for the same government or for the previous governments, which have accumulated this debt and they've not paid them. We have our pensioners who have not been paid. Okay?
Right.
And then they claim that they have so much money that they can do debt swap. But look, not every civil servant out there is in debt. Now,
Right.
how unfair will it be to those civil servants who don't have any credit and they've remained debt free from all these other whatever? How unfair
Right.
will it be to those? And how unfair will it be to some of the teachers, some of the nurses which were employed a few months ago? Actually, let me say, was it last year? And they were told you only report at your station when you receive your first salary, and they've not yet received their first salary. They've not reported. So honestly, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Now, there is another question here that William Sonda is trying to ask Ati, and the government is going to affect interest rates. Okay, now, this is one of the lies, one of the biggest lies that this government can ever come up to. So now they are saying that the reason why they are doing a debt swap is to affect interest rate. But interest rate is contractual, right? So it's a contract between the civil servants and the banks. It's contractual. So unless there is actually a law that goes in and rubbishes the contracts that these civil servants made, this government is lying that it's going to reduce the interest rate. It can't. This is a lie. So how is it going to reduce the interest rate? Now, if you want to reduce the interest rate, what you can do as a government is to pass law that limits interest rates. Right now, our people are being killed by 45% interest and 50% interest by banks. Where has this government been? If we kuno twikala ama loans, the highest loan you can get, it's like 20%. Now you mark credit cards, 19% a credit card, right? Otherwise, bank loans, it's 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. Rich countries with government, but that's how. Those are the interest rates that can sustain an economy. Even in China, the interest rates are low. The Chinese banks are lending money to their Chinese citizens in Zambia at 1%, 2%. The Zambian banks, 45%. If President Lungu cared about the rate of interest, he would have interfered a long time ago. He would have passed a law. He would have been in conversation with these banks. Now, the problem is because this government owes these banks a lot of money, so these banks are able to blackmail this government. And because they are able to blackmail this government, instead of solving real problems, instead of standing up as men and women, they whimper out like kelenkas that they are. Instead of telling us common sense, they are bringing candolo to the people of Zambia.
Council,
you see,
one thing that we need to realize also is that these same banks, they are charging so much, and some of us, we've got relatives who are civil servants, and they have complained in our ears to say, look, I got my loan 3 years ago, and I'm supposed to be finishing in the next 1 year plus. And instead of on the payslip, instead of remaining with, for example, 16 months or 18 months, they are still 40-something months, meaning that contractual loan is now taking perpetual. It's taking forever. And this is why now the government is coming up to say, no, we want to reduce on the whatever. At the end of the day, this government has just failed, for sure. As you are saying, the government is supposed to regulate how much someone is supposed to pay, even if the dollar went up and stuff like that. The government, a working good government, is supposed to regulate, but they failed.
Our people are being killed. 45%. Umuntu awongola 1,000 kwacha to a bank atu kulipira 1,400.
Yeah.
How can an economy grow like that? And the government can't do anything because it's a government of kelenkas. They come ukwisa mkubepa abantu. Baros.
Cancel.
You know what I'm saying, Council? Thank you so much for explaining to the Zambians so that they can understand what Mr. Lungu is up to. What you said, if they wanted to take that credit from wherever they have borrowed, let them put the chunk of money in their account, like the way they did here in United States. Like the way you're saying the money they are taking is the money people, the taxes.
Yeah.
People, they save money and then they come and congola the money. Those people, they want their money. So when you wake up in the morning, like here, we wake up in the morning, you find 1,200. Well, Nashingila. First, you find 600 on Nashingila. Like right now, they are paying people who doesn't work, like who go to school and just work maybe two days a week. Or
right.
one, or that's the money they are paying. And it just says sad to the Balungu. I guess, Mr. Lungu, you are hearing me, although my family, they don't want to. And two, Mr. Lungu, you say that you want to swap the Congolese wa Congola. My brother, he retired. He has not even get paid. They said next year in October. He was a teacher. And then Balungu, you just want to deceive our civil servants and to deceive our Zambians because government yenu no comparing abantu abali muchalo.
Yeah.
So you just want to enjoy, whoever wants to enjoy, and everybody. If I was me, Mr. Lungu, by myself, I'll just say, you know what, bane, na firo kuteka lekeni abantu bambi bateke kosoba control leko efinto. That's my contribution. Yeah. And thank you so much, Council, to explain to the Zambians so that they can understand the way in Congole, if you which is very sad to Mr. Lungu.
You can even see it at ubufi. They don't even have the decency. It's careless. Lies, huge lies, extremely big lies. This is what President Lungu's government is doing. And so no civil servant should even lose sleep about it that Yom Kwai they are trying to do anything. No, they don't like you. President Lungu doesn't like you. President Lungu doesn't love you. President Lungu is not concerned about the small civil servant in Zambia. He's concerned about Indeke. Namanone. That's all he's concerned about.
Next month.
Valungu bate mwafya manone so bamo nokubata manone nombayapwa bambo kuchitashani relying using these permanent secretaries to go and lie. Number 9 for tweakarefia at yom kwa ichirifie. Let's forget about this. Andy, are you there? Andy is not there. So now, if they mean business, if President Lungu means business about this, let him deposit tomorrow morning. Let him deposit money to go to every civil servant. To Lefuaya, when civil servants open their phones, Milo, a text message from their bank saying Lungu has deposited 1,000 or 2,000 kwacha in their bank accounts. That's what we want to see. Not if you have a debt swap no sign. Ukuchidivisha mule signa. Kwati fiama no mule chitamweko. Na mfuala nama masks. Kwati mule wa mia. Kanshi mule vepa bantu. Nechi sungu sana from Amos Malupenga. No, this is a debt swap. Blah, 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 blah. All lies. If you have money, pay the civil servants directly the money that you owe them. You already underpay them. You are paying them 2,000 kwacha, civil servant, 2,000 kwacha cleaner, 3,000 kwacha teacher, 4,000 kwacha nurse, 18,000 kwacha doctor. And then even paying them that money, mulakokola, allowances, moving allowance, allowances. You've not paid them. Elo number today, you come and tell us that you have interest of these civil servants at heart. Help me here. Himbai, please.
Yeah, you see, council, okay, coming before he comes in. You see, what we are saying, and people should understand very well that we are not trying to say whatever they have done or it may not happen. Yes, it may happen, but the issue is what happens after 3 months, because they have not mentioned what will happen after 3 months. This is a situation now. You find that abantu batesanga mlimo kalova by having some double deduction by those lending institution by saying that no, the government didn't give us that thing which we signed. So civil servants, they need to be very much cautious. And not only that, what I've seen, people have been complaining about the prices of goods, the prices of food and the other items. That's what people have been complaining many about. Why trash tobung at 150? Why cooking at 200 kwacha? All those kind of things. If the government can find ways and means of controlling the prices for these commodities, even the money the civil servants get paid, it will be very much enough to feed themselves.
Right. So the other thing is, some people they misunderstanding the whole thing. The government will try to refinance these loans at 5%, at 5% interest rate. First of all, that is just a lie. That is pure lie. There is no way this government that has had the chance to deal with interest rates is going to refinance loans at 5%. For goodness sake, this is a lie.
You know, in the first place, someone was on TV today, and they are nicely saying, no, they've halted all the deductions for the next 3 months. What guarantee do they have that they will it up? What guarantee? In the first place, what guarantee do they have that they will it up? Eh? You know, this just shows how desperate they are to try and buy off everyone and anyone they can buy off. And then someone is proudly going to say, which you think that you are owed and then will pay you. Honestly, who does that? Who does that? Desperation at its highest best.
Right.
Now, if you are really in leadership, why can't you show leadership? Now, this Lulu Kandolo team, na ifirwa, alabaleya, full stop.
Atilongolea. I think that's the thing. Kulonga, eronga balonga, baleya. Because this is desperation, where the government is lying. You see, I think it's one thing to fail, but it's another thing to actually lie to the people. The point is the 5%. The government is not a bank. The government has no experience in banking. So where are they going to get the 5% interest rate on citizens' loans? It's a lie. And they'll create a new bank, And they'll create a new bank.
PSMD. I know that's PSMD, which is supposed to be a bank and stuff like that. You can even tell that even what they're saying does not make sense, and they don't even believe in it themselves. So who should believe in them? If what they're saying, they can't believe it themselves.
Yeah.
You see, Council, one thing that I've seen, it's also we have a challenge with even us, the Zambians, actually, to understand some of these things, and we need more education in terms of ourselves, besides what we have tried to study. Today, I was reading somewhere where the National Health Insurance Scheme, they have used the money, they have gotten the money which people are contributing to buy the drugs. Well, the hospitals have no drugs, and what they are calling it money market. In short, I can say gambling. Impia bantu they
What?
need that.
No. I've not heard that. The National
Yeah,
Insurance Scheme is putting money in the money markets?
yes, it has gotten the money from the civil servants, which they have contributed, and put in the money market, which is gambling, casinos. So now you wonder to say,
Yeah.
what's happening? You see, we
To
need
the people
to.
of Zambia, when we are saying this, it's not because we have some spite against President Lungu. This is not the way to govern a country. This is not the way to govern a state, a nation. No, this is not making sense. This is not normal. Imwenga mulemo nati yo efyo chifwire chave efyo. Number, why you kubepa abantu? Why taxing people exorbitantly? Why leaving high interest rates? Why owing abantu babo mbere mpia instead of paying a retirees? You're not paying a retirees. Instead ya kubapera you are mule batumfya no kubatumfya. Why go to KCM in Chingola and lie to the people of Chingola, okay, but government has taken over KCM when it hasn't? If you see, a very clear lie. Government has taken over KCM when government has not taken KCM. KCM is now been given to President Lungu's friend, known as Miringo Lungu, to be the owner. And then lie to them that you're going to pay them terminal benefits. Go to Mopani, lie to the people at Mopani the same way, and go and calculate. It's not because we have spite for this government. It's because what this government does, fiama dongo dongo, it's not the way to govern a state. I know someone who is campaigning. I've gone to his manifesto. I've listened to what he says. It makes sense. That's why we are very clear on TV. The one who is making sense is Mr. Aga in the Hichilema. Because personally, I have scrutinized what he says. Nafibula, nafilinga nenefe balungu bachita. Nasango kweba ati, ifilera ndaga in the Hichilema. Mudiamano, nechalo kuti chachinja. Chabafe bwino. Bantu akainde hichilema ali monoko, but the biggest problem we have ninkongo lesho balungu baire Congo loko bat bashtendeke. In Congo lesho baire Congo to build airports. Isha kobati after to Congo to build them airports number, even money to maintain those airports na shoshine tapava. Money to employ workers at those airports impia tapava. Money to just clean up things tapari impia. So what will happen? More debt, more kaloba. Means again, if now, okay, I'm an independent person because I'm NDC. I'm independent. Frank Saliki.
There's an important point there. So if everything that's built when money is borrowed, it needs to be maintained. They've talked about everything that they've built. Well, if a road is new today, a road is not going to be new in 3-5 years' time. It's going to need more money. And a country should not be borrowing money to make roads, to maintain roads. A country should have enough money to maintain those roads. That's why you should have organizations like RATSA. They should have enough money, but we know what goes on over there. And we talk about the mines. Again, it's that promise. They took away, they knew they were never going to afford that. So they took on the Mopani, they took on the 1.5 billion debt. I'm thinking if I was a company owner in Switzerland and had the government there trying to take over our 1.5 billion debt, I would have been smiling. And I've been thinking, what are they smoking over there? That's a debt that was taken away from them. That was a debt that was taken away from them. Yeah. So that they can carry on making the same amount of money and give the government 3%. What thinking was going on there?
The thinking that was going on, Frank, is this thinking that President Lungu, the way he governs things is to deceive the people of Zambia into thinking that they own stuff. You see, the idea that we own things without understanding that what makes a difference is actually the cash flow, how much money you are actually getting every month, not necessarily what you have. So they deceive the people of Zambia that now Mopani Copper Mines is now yours. Okay. They don't deal with the issue of how much are we going to be spending every month to service that debt? How much is actually coming in?
What the Zambians used to know is a difference between a liability and an asset. I'll give an example. We've got when my wife and I bought our house, we thought, oh, there's a house going for £111,000. Well, one problem, we haven't got £111,000. So we went to the bank and said, Mr. Bank, lend us this much money because we got this much money. So Mr. Bank lent us some money. So we got the house. So fast forward 6 years later, the house is worth a few more than it was bought. So it's worth let's say it's worth £165,000. So if we go to the bank and said, there we go, we're going to pay back what we owe you now, which is about £80,000, and we're going to take the money that's left over from it. So that is an asset. So I give an example, the hospital. So we built a nice hospital on borrowed money. That hospital is not bringing more money. It's not going to bring in more money 5 years later. Actually, the government is going to need more money to maintain that hospital. So what a normal government should be able to do with stuff like that, it should have enough money to be able to build hospitals and maintain things instead of borrowing money to come and build new hospitals, because it will need money from somewhere to maintain hospital also, and to also pay back the debt that they've borrowed at the same time. So in doing that, it doubles the amount of money that it will need.
Right. Yeah. So they'll need more money. And so the credit crunch that we have in Zambia is enormous. It's huge. It will take a lot of sacrifice from the new government. A lot, like huge sacrifice in order to just get us up to water level. Otherwise, arabane twalidumbuira kare no kupema tatulipema. So just to get us to water level, it will take a lot of discipline. Not this kind of government. Yeah, you could assign a few things to it, more sign at Fiasovek. No, Vane. And lying to the civil servants, innocent 210,000 people. We challenge them. If they have money, Frank, if these people have money, let them deposit in the 210,000 accounts tomorrow. Otherwise, if you answer to you 3 months, we are going to stop deductions for 3 months. The money that you civil servants owe, they don't owe against the government. They owe against different third parties.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that the government, the civil servants are owing money to Amos Malupenga or Edgar Lungu or Simon Meat. No. So how can government say that to deductions? We should make deductions here. No.
I think there's a very important question. There's a very important question. And why do this weeks before the general election? Why
because
did
it's
they
a
do it
gimmick.
last
That
year?
civil servants are going to accept.
You can see what they're trying to do. Is here we go. We're gonna feed you on more lies. 3 months you're going to get a break so that you can vote for us.
Philip Chilima, one of our critics, he says that this one has hit you terribly, people. It does not hit us. It's the lies. If we are innocent people, if we are innocent people, number it's the lying. No, these are lies. Fred Membe said, wakupita pamusula, no ve umupite pamusula. So when this government lies to the people of Zambia, even next week and if you quiet, we leave it. Na bapita pamusula, na ifwe. kanshi kwasuka nokubapita pamusoro. Why should we be pretending as if everything is okay? This government comes, lies to the people of Zambia, lies to the civil servants of Zambia. This platform, we ignore it and say, no, it's okay. No, we are not going to ignore it.
But the government has had how long they've had to maintain the economy, to build the economy. The Zambian economy has been on free flow for years. And over the last year, it's been so dramatic. You've never seen the kwacha lose value so fast because the government had borrowed so much money. They couldn't get any more Eurobonds. And, you know, in the UK, we've got this thing called credit rating. You apply for a loan and the bank has to check and say, let's see your credit rating. And then if your credit rating is poor, they say, no, you're not going to get any loan. And this is what is happening to Zambia. They try to get Eurobond, and Eurobond say, we checked your credit rating is poor. You owe too much money. We want to know what you spend with the money. We want to see some accountability. And they failed to produce the accountability. So even though they've borrowed so much money, the other thing that they've done, money has gone missing. Money has gone missing. The UK government does not give Zambia any money anymore. Remember the post incidents? Money just disappeared. Nobody was ever made accountable. Remember the honeybee? Nobody has ever been made accountable. It's a government. If somebody is buying drugs that are going to harm our people, why do people who are bringing those drugs still walking free on our streets?
Right. JR, did you have something to say?
Yes. This issue is the issue of Kandolo. Here is the issue.
JR, please tell us more. Don't wait.
Yeah. I owe someone 5 Kandolo. And that someone I owe is also being owed by someone. And then Fikansani, if you get it. So I owe a microfine. Government owes me. Then Fiamboku Kansana without any contract. No representative from the microfinance or from the bank during the press briefing. So it's quite funny, and they're playing on people's psychology because they're in debt and they're in desperate need of help. Then someone comes and say, no, we want to help you, but meanwhile they just want to win votes. You can even tell. It's clear. Because everywhere where they are going, even the president is just saying, just calculate and you tell me how much we should pay you. Come on, a president.
I owe you money, no problem. Kabi if you're pending,
exactly. If there's the best time to live in Zambia, it's now, because every time there's entertainment from the PF, there is really entertainment. This is entertaining, and I know the Zambian people. On the 12th of August, we are going to carry Kandolo early in the morning and go to the polling station. Today, Tantama, we are eating Kandolo. Twapuisha kuvota, Twapanza, we are still waiting. As we are protecting our votes, we are eating Kandolo. The whole day on the 12th, we are eating Kandolo. It will be a Kandolo day.
Yeah. So
I think Mkampeleka Kandolo Kambwiri na GBM. I think they're missing out on that. Too much speaking sense.
So the people of Zambia want a true swap, and the true swap is what is happening in August by removing this government of kelenkas once and for all. Gentlemen and ladies, we've got to go now.
Thank you, Mosha. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me particularly. But as we go, let me just say one thing. This is a government that failed to remit its own, people's monies. You know, for example, I owe the government. I owe this bank, and I'm supposed to remit to this bank. And here's the same government, but fails to remit to the institution. And then the institution now realizes, oh, this guy is not paying up. and they heap so much on me, and then they come and say debt swap. What a joke. What they are doing really, it's laughable to any 5 sensed human being. This is purely laughable. And we are only
Right.
saying, guys, we are fed up. We are fed up. By the way, are you aware that as he was going to the so-called core belt, he was booed again? And everyone was saying forward, forward. It's laughable.
Bali
It's
bawera,
laughable.
balungu kubawera. It's terrible.
Wow.
I think
Well, as
Baleke-
Mr. Munsha always says, tefye bateke chalo ifi. Aba, bafilwa, balongesheni baleya.
In my concluding remarks, I think the civil servants are not that down, and they know very well that this has come because of the politicking. As most of the time they went even months without paid on the right time. But since this money is coming, let the civil servants get the money, and they know what to do. They know the right decision as that they come. So I don't think so. If this money will change anything, it will not change anything at all. I can assure you that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been TV Bakwetu on debt swap today. And of course, I did mention that the reason why we talk about it, it's because we can't remain silent. Abantu barebepa ero ifwe twaichaira twalaba kofiati yo mkwai, it's okay. Na atibepe ni mkwai. No. Bafwire baishiwa ba Simon Meet na batampo Bakwetu will be there to rebut their lies, to expose their lies. And the people of Zambia, okay, but these people are liars, for goodness sake, vote them out next month.